So let's talk battery. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. The Pixel 6a has hit the market running, and there are so many deals on it right now. You can get some fantastic deals on this device. I've definitely been enjoying this, and I could appreciate what Google is doing here by giving us this device at $450. Now, currently, right now, I think it's on sale in several places. So you do your research. I'll try to post some places. Now, I know Best Buy has it on sale with activation. I think Google Fi has it on sale. It's just on sale everywhere. So I've often questioned whether or not I would enjoy this phone for the battery. Let's see if I can save this guy down here. I really hope that Google does something to improve on the battery. Now, that's not to say that this battery is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the battery life on this is good enough for me. So some people probably, come on, get in the truck, get in the plane, get in the plane, get in the plane. There you go. Some people probably could get away with this, with heavy use, gaming and things like that. I don't game, but I wanted to just kind of touch on the battery real briefly, because this is something that people genuinely might be concerned about. If they're thinking, let me save this guy. Oh my goodness. Come on, dude, get in the plane. They're thinking about battery life. Can they actually live with this battery life? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you should be able to live with this battery life. This is not a phone with poor battery life by any stretch. It's actually phenomenal on battery. And even if you can't make it through 48 hours or something like that, you should be able to make it at least a day and a half. So depending on which games you're playing on your device, because some young people might, no, I say young people, I don't game. And if I do game, it's going to be something like this, like something that's pretty, not too graphic intense, but, enough to where it's going to, push the device to, have some form of stretch or tension on the processor. Now, not just tension on the processor, but, killing off the battery. How they do me like that? I could have got that last one. So for me, what's a day in the life on the battery with this? For me, it's going to be tons of phone calls and social media. That's where I'm at with a cell phone overall. Depending on which phone it is, I will definitely have, like, on every phone. I have two phone numbers now. I have three phone numbers now. I had four, but I have a main phone number that, like, personal, like family, and then I have a secondary number where you may not be family, but I trust you, so you get to have that number, and that number ends in 3883. So anybody who has that number, you know who you are. That means I really trust you, and you can talk to me pretty much anywhere. I'm gonna answer your call or whatever. Ooh, he got me. That's a strong vibration on there. I wanted to talk about that too, but I personally feel like the battery life on here is more than enough and should be enough. Now, I'm talking about battery life and doing a little bit of gaming at the same time, because people often say, oh, you don't really show any games, and the Tensor chip is trash. Okay, whatever. If you think so, everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a different thing going on with their device. My devices, I didn't purchase them to play video games. I just didn't. I purchased them to get phone calls done and get things that are important to me done. And I'm not saying people who game on their phone are immature, or they don't, they're not getting the use out of their device. Obviously, the Tensor chip can handle it. Now, some people say, does the device get hot? Those are questions that people ask all the time. Does your device get hot? What happened with this? What happened with that? And I always tell them, every device gets warm at some point or another. It's just not possible for a device to be getting used and not get some kind of warm. It's not realistic. It's just not realistic for you to have a phone and do all these things with it and it doesn't get somewhat warm. You know what I mean? Like, but I picked this game in particular because it's different from the other game that I was normally playing. And this game, obviously, there's a lot more motion. There's things going on with the device. Now, I normally play a very simple game. That's just what it is. I play simple games. I'm a pretty straightforward, simple guy. So performance on here with the battery life has been great, man. I just don't have a problem with the battery life at all. But see, me not having a problem with it, some people might think, okay, he's not really using the device. I've had people say that before. Well, you're not really using the device. And I'm like, okay. I said, okay, if you feel like I'm not using the device, that's totally up to you. I get it. You think I'm not using it enough. I'm not using it to your standards, basically, is what you're telling me. Because everyone's usage is completely different. So for me, the battery life on here, if you want to measure screen on time, for me, it's about 6 hours or more. Now, real world, for me, when I'm measuring battery life, I measure by how long, and you know what, this isn't new to me. I think a lot of people are catching on now. Screen on time, yes, it measures some form of the device, but it doesn't tell you the true story behind the device. It just really doesn't, in my opinion. So I feel like being off the charger, that is what's important. Now, even the iPhones now have a thing where, they discuss, they've got your screen time is what they're calling it. Even this phone offers screen time. And, it's cool and everything, but one thing I can tell you about my iPhone 13 Pro Max is I can go 2 days easily or longer off the charger. Now, my screen on time may not reflect 15 hours of screen on time. I might only get like 8, maybe 8.5, 9. But I was able to make it 2 days. Now, on those days that I'm very light on my iPhone, because there's SIM cards in these phones, on those days when I'm light on my, remember I switched to Cricket. On those days when I'm light on usage, there's probably about, like I could go, this is my S22 Ultra, as you can see there. I'm just showing you guys I actually use these. I had to take the SIM card out of this and put it in this is my Google Fi line is what I'm using it on. So I take it out because, I've been getting a lot more usage out of my Google Fi with phone calls. So for videos, I say, either put it in airplane mode or take it out. So I took the SIM card out of here. But this is definitely getting used. And my Google Fi line is predominantly phone calls. I mean, a boatload of phone calls where I'm on calls for 2 hours at a time. But I like to measure a device by how long I'm going without having any issues with it for dying early. Now, one thing I noticed about the Pixel 6a, and I don't know if any other Pixel 6a owners notice this, but does your phone last a really long time on standby? Mine lasts a really long time on standby. Now, I'm not on Android 13. I can add Android 13. I can do the beta and it'll come right up as soon as I do it. But I am running 13 on my other Pixels, and I'll be following up on that. 13, the official 13 came to my other Pixels. It's officially hitting the 6A. It just hasn't hit mine yet. And I haven't even been really trying, actually. I tried a couple times, yeah. But I will, in fact, talk about 13 versus 12 when 13 gets on here. Because right now, folks, again, yes, I love getting the latest software update, but I don't have to have it. As long as my device is working, I'm good. And this device is working flawlessly. This launch of a 6 from Pixel, like a Pixel 6 device, this launch is much better launch than the other ones. So that only leads me to believe that the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 7 are going to have a strong launch. This fingerprint reader, I have no problems with it. I wish Google would have facial recognition on here. I think it's weird that they don't. And then every other Android device, even Android devices that don't even cost as much, have facial recognition. I know it's only $450, but I'm just saying there's devices out there that are $300 or $200 and something, and they have facial recognition. I'm so used to unlocking with these two devices right here with facial recognition. It just feels wrong, and I feel cheated that Google hasn't done that yet. It's just weird to me. Is it weird to you that they don't have freaking facial recognition on their own phones? Yeah. ever since the Pixel 4 and 4 XL, they decided to go in a different direction. And if they had a hardware fingerprint reader like on this side over here, I really wouldn't care too much about facial recognition as much, I think, because putting my finger there to unlock is so natural, you know what I mean? So anyway, battery life, folks, it's been cool, man. It's been cool. I haven't had any problems whatsoever. Shout out to my man BG Tech Life. He actually did a video on battery as well, and I think it's interesting. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You go check it out. BG Tech Life. He has a 6A as well. He's a part of Team Pixel as far as the special group of us who get the devices early. I don't have a problem with this battery life. I can make it through a full day or more, but I've noticed that this Pixel has much better standby time than my Pixel 6 did or my Pixel 6 Pro. I don't know what the deal is, but it just does. All right? So battery life on here, your questions answered. No, the device does not get hot. I've gotten so many questions in. Is your device overheating? And I've already discussed that before in another video. But this one, now that I've had it for like almost a month, believe it or not, I have not had any problems with battery life. And that doesn't mean that I won't. I'm just saying as of right now, I'm not. So for now, as of August 22nd, there's no battery problems. There's no heating problems. It's not overheating. I've shot 4K 60. I've shot 4K. I've shot 1080p. I'm not having any cutoffs. Nothing. So at this point, this device is really official. I mean, really official. I mean, so for me right now, this is a good phone. It's not the battery champ by no means. I think that of all the phones I've ever gotten that's like commercial, if you will, the LG V60 kind of did it with like 12 hours of screen on time, and I went like 2 days or something like that. I forgot, 15 hours screen on time or something like that. I think I got ridiculous. But most importantly, it stayed going for days. And I really thought about bringing another one of those in, you know, just as my collector's item. But you know how it goes. All your questions about the battery, if I didn't cover it, I'm sure I might not have. Go ahead and ask me in the comment section, and I will do my best to get at you with it. You know what I mean? All right, man. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.